Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. I also have launched many political clips up here on YouTube. So I'm coming today because this has got to get out before the election coming up next Tuesday in Chicago. And then I got a couple other stories to go along with it. But first, let's start out with the first story. The election day is Tuesday. There's 14 candidates running for mayor. Bill Daley, I see him as one of the front runners. Well, let me tell you the absolute truth. Bill Daley and his brother, but Bill Daley is a thief, criminal thief, common ordinary thief, maybe a billion-dollar thief at that, but still a thief. Between him and his brother, Richard M., they stole whatever deal they might say they gave to the city. It's a lie. The parking meter deal was plain outright theft, and he was right behind it. Now, why do I say this? They concocted this deal to give the city $1 billion for the parking meters for 85 years. 85 years could generate billions and billions of dollars. No, this is the bad deal. The city did a study to buy all the equipment, all this new modern equipment so people could use credit cards to pay for their parking. All that equipment would have cost $47 million. The city of Chicago could have went bond issued $47 million. Any bank would have gave money for that. Any major bank would give them the money for that. But Bill Daley was right behind this whole scam. The whole scam to rip off the city. And let me add this, and this is factual. The minute his brother took a fee from that legal company, that legal law firm that put this together, the whole deal could be scrapped. That is my opinion. And I'm sure if there was bright people in Chicago, which I know we're suffering from not having many bright people, if a bright person in Chicago would go after this and look into it, once Daley took some money, Richard M. took some money, that whole deal could be scrapped, and he took money from that law firm. So how was the deal put together? Well, money came from a teachers union. People were invested. I think Dick Mell might have been involved. I think Burke may have been involved. Madigan could have been involved. They all may be profiting from this new company that was created. So, no, he's a thief. He's a criminal. He's the worst of the worst. And let me point out something. I hate to go back in the past, but in 1964, I was on the swim team with St. George High School. Bill Daley, I raced him, and his dad was sitting up in the grandstands watching this. I think it was like a 2,500 foot race and a 2,500 yard race. And let me point out, I was an individual medley guy, which means I did butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. But there was an open slot. I was in that race, and I whooped Daley then. And I could whoop Daley now. And if he wants to debate me about this thievery, I'll debate him anytime. And on top of that, the whole Daley clan may be the worst thing that ever happened to Chicago. Because remember, it was his father that put the head tax in. There was no need back in 1973 for a new tax in Chicago. He personally drove out, him and the Democratic Party of Cook County personally drove out over 350,000 manufacturing jobs. So when you drive around Chicago, you see these big vacant lots. Go to Austin Avenue, south of Grand, and see the old Zenith building. Richard J. Daley drove them business out, and his sons are punks, just like he was a punk. And if you guys want to debate me, I'll debate him anywhere. Bill Daley is a thief, and I'm saying it right here. That whole parking meter deal was a criminal act perpetrated on the people of the city of Chicago. Second story. All right, there's this gay guy on NBC, they're celebrating the last couple of weeks. He finally adopted a son, 50-year-old gay guy. I have one warning for you. If you're watching this, here's my warning. 15 years from now, make sure you sleep with one eye open. You are depriving that boy of a loving mother, a mother that's there every day, a loving mother. That's what makes America great. White privilege, you want to talk about white privilege? There's white privilege, there's black privilege, there's yellow privilege, there's brown privilege. Mothers and fathers raising their children, that is the privilege. That's what this new society is trying to throw out, white privilege. Well, no, it's a mother and a father. So I don't even know this guy's name, I don't know what show he's on, but they were celebrating it on a week ago or two on the morning show on NBC. You are depriving this child of a mother. You are so selfish. And let me point out, and here's a little bit of advice for you. You're 50 years old, you're good looking. There are probably 10,000 women between the age of 40 and 50 that would love to marry you. No sex would be needed. They would be happy to have a handsome man that they could be seen with. Sex could be optional. And I know you probably were a confused teenager and maybe you never learned how to love a woman. And maybe you can still learn how to love a woman. But what you're doing to your son is evil. It's an evil deal. So make sure you learn how to sleep with one eye open. And my third story. Juan Williams, and now we get to draw on the board. Juan Williams, the other day on Fox, they're talking socialism, whatever, and Juan Williams throws up and says, well, Social Security isn't socialism because we've accepted it. And Juan Williams said, and Medicare, everybody's getting Medicare, and we're all accepting it, and so it can't be socialism. No, it is socialism. And let me explain why. First of all, let me explain Social Security. Social Security is 15% of your income. Now in the old days when I was young, you only paid Social Security up to $25,000, $27,000 and the rest of, you didn't have to. Now it's up to 117, maybe a little bit more. So every penny up to 117,000. So that means if you're making $100,000 a year, then you are paying into Social Security, you're paying $15,000. $15,000 goes to Social Security every year. If you own that money, if that was put into a fund, and if just based on the stock market, just a regular fund based on the stock market, and that would be your money. So Social Security, everybody says, oh, it was a great deal. No, it's a great deal if you die for the government. And the only president that addressed the whole Social Security thing is Ronald Reagan. And I still hear people beef because he's raised, what they passed, they secured it, but they raised the age, which they have to do. So Social Security is no great deal, and it is socialism, Juan. The second thing, Medicare. Medicare, and I benefit from it, I'm not denying it, I had to sign up when I turned 65, is 2%, or maybe 2.5%. God, I got to think about this. Percent of your income, your total income. Total. So, why is that not a good deal? Well, if you were 30 years old and you went to an insurance company and you told them you're going to give them 2 to 2.5% of your income for the rest of your life, you don't think any insurance company would insure you with health insurance to your death? No. 2.5% of your income, maximum, if you're a millionaire, if you make $1 million a year, if your salary, I take the gal at GM, she's making $22 million per year. 1% of $22 million is $200,000 a year goes to Medicare. Every penny she earns. You don't think an insurance company would write her a policy for life? So Juan, Medicare is socialism. Social Security is socialism. Just because we have it here doesn't mean it's good. Socialism is evil. Marxism is evil. It's all bad. No matter how you cut it, it's all bad. Does it benefit people because the government is taking care of them? Yeah, but the government could require you to put 15% into a fund. And how many people are dipping into Social Security? And how many of these illegal aliens coming in are going to be dipping into Social Security and then Medicare? No. Socialism never works. It can work. We do have a great society. America has billions and billions and billions of dollars are generated every year. But it's still socialism. It's not the best of the best. We can live with it. But Juan, don't say it's not socialism just because it works in America. And I'm going to end this clip right here by one more thing. Current news. How many people have heard the term? How many people have heard the term, his name is Mud? Where does that come from? Well, there was a Dr. Mudd that set the leg of John Wilkes Booth after he shot Abraham Lincoln. And that's where that term comes from. So now the new term, and you're going to hear it here first. Don't allow someone to smell at you. Sort of like, don't let someone BS you. Don't let someone get away with a lie and con you. So maybe this young punk is now going to be infamous because people will start using that term. Maybe it will show up in Webster's. Don't allow yourself to be Smollett. Smollett. You got Smolletted by somebody. You're Smolletted, meaning you got conned, you got lied to, you got the BS job. And that's it. I'm Dan Schmitt. Remember, my email is teamdan45@gmail.com. teamdan45@gmail.com. I will debate anybody on any subject as long as I have protecting. America is great because the American people are great. Yes, we are a great country because of our Constitution, Declaration of Independence. We've been very fortunate to be born in the United States of America, and we have to protect that. And Donald Trump may turn out to be the greatest president of the 21st century, like Ronald Reagan was the greatest president of the 20th century. Thanks for watching, and look for other clips on YouTube. You can search with Dan Schmitt Politics. What is the right? What is the left? Maybe my most important clip I've ever put up on YouTube. You can also search with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing and see some great motorcycle racing. And I've been blessed that I've been able to race bikes for going on 48 years.